Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Got this live set up, and I'm checking to see that it's set up here on the site as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Ilima Hong, and I talk about wellness and positivity in my account. I talk specifically about self compassion. I'm very, very um, tuned in to that vibe this year in 2023. And it's because I have a story from 2022. Um, and I sort of share it here in live. I'm here live Tuesdays and Thursdays, about 1:30 p.m. Eastern. I see all of you here jumping on. I so appreciate that. But anyway, I share live here. Just a quick jump in. Um, Tuesdays and Thursdays, about 6:30 p.m. Eastern. I try to get in here on that time. I so enjoy just kind of getting to know all of you. If you're watching live, then go ahead and put a hashtag live in my comment. Um, I also include in my comments in a little bit here towards the end, I give you a free wellness checklist that I encourage everyone to sort of take a look at because there's some very practical ways to incorporate, and make wellness your priority, right? And there's sort of these ways that I list in the checklist, and you can go ahead and get that for yourself. Um, and excuse me, and then um, practical tips, and then I'll also include in the comments access to my Facebook group because in my Facebook group I dive really deeper into the aspects of self compassion, the real benefits, the real rewards that you see for yourself, your relationships, your relationship with energy, your relationship with money, like all of that takes place when you improve your own self compassion and your critical inner voice. So I'll put that in the comments as well. But let's begin, right? I just kind of check in. I mentioned on my live that I'm just going to give you that one thing. So in 2022, I faced this incredibly difficult situation with my job. Um, it was hasty, it was abrupt, and I found myself almost cuffed, just feeling crippled and stuck in a decision that someone else made, right, for my job. And when you work for someone else, when you work for an employer, that can happen, right? It certainly can happen in life. Um, the direction that you have every intention of heading turns and shifts some way right or left. And you might not always have control over that. You certainly don't have control over what other people do and say. So when I went through that, I had to do a very deep dive into my own inner strength. I had to develop that again, and I thought I had already developed it, but it's an ongoing thing. And I felt compelled to build that inner strength within myself so that I could deal with the changes that were going on around me in a healthy way, right? And I had to be an example. If you don't know me, again, I'm Ilima Hong. I'm 52 years old. I have two older children. They're in college now. I've been married 23 years, happily, to a very wonderful husband. But I also have 25 years or more of experience and background in human resources management and in education administration. So these were all, that was my world. And I developed the skills, I invested time and money in getting my own certification. But it's still, because life is challenging, I still had to pay attention to my own emotional and mental health. And so I did that in 2022, and I thought I was really recovering. And then at the end of 2022, I lost my beloved older brother. And it was so sudden again. It was such a shock. I'm still dealing with the grief, incredible grief that I have over that loss. But if I weren't paying attention to my self awareness, building my emotional strength, I did these through some strategies like meditating, journaling, positive affirmations. But if I hadn't worked on that, I believe that going through grief like we do, losing a loved one, probably could have crippled me again, right? Like just sent me back. But it hasn't. And it's actually compelled me to share this story to all of you readily every week because I feel like somebody needs to hear this, right? Somebody could also learn from the transformation that I had and the way that I had built self confidence, resilience, and actual grit, right? I had to build that again and have that in me so that I could go forward. So, the one thing that I counted on and I developed in 2022 was self compassion. Okay, I talk a lot about that on my account here. I'll put the link to the wellness checklist. I'll put that link to the comments here, and I'll put the link to my Facebook group so you can have access. Go ahead and type a 1 in the comments if you had experienced negative self talk. Okay, any time of your life. I expect to see a lot of ones. Okay, add a number 2 if you've heard of the harsh implications, the negative results of having a harsh inner dialogue. Yeah. Number 2, if you've actually heard what those painful situations are like when you engage and you foster a negative self-talk. Okay, so a 1 if you've had negative self-talk, and a 2 if you've heard of the real negative, the bad things that can happen to you mentally, emotionally, physically, if you continue to engage in that. Okay, I'm going to share that here. I have more details and strategies in an ebook that I have. I'm going to be putting that out very soon. If you're interested in that, you're going to see it in my link. I'm going to talk about that ebook real soon. I've been working on it. I'm excited about it. But anyway, I built a better relationship with myself. Yeah. And I did that by recognizing that self-compassion and being kind to myself first was paramount, and was a critical component to building my own resilience to the challenges of life. Yeah. And I really hope that this message gets across to all of you at the right time and the right place, wherever you're at in your life. If you're like me in your 50s, you're realizing, like I did, my gosh, I have more time behind me than I potentially have in front of me. Of course, nothing's guaranteed, right? So, how am I going to make if I'm fortunate enough, the next year, the next 5 years, the next decade, better for me? How am I going to make it phenomenal? Okay, and I'm going to do that with the strategies that I developed. I didn't develop them. They're going to be very simple, easy tips for you to access, but I put them together in a book so that you can easily understand it, go through it, have it for the rest of your life, that kind of thing. Access it that way. Okay, but I'll put in here in the comments, I'm going to give you access to the wellness checklist. I'll have it right here. And go ahead and leave any questions you have in the comments. Check out the comments here yourself, because you're going to access my Facebook group, and you're going to be able to access the wellness checklist. Okay? I'm Ilima Hong. I was just thrilled to come and see all of you today. I'm so excited to share this wellness checklist with you. I want to share more information, real practical steps and strategies for you to understand what self-compassion looks like, how to improve it, how to foster and foster and enrich your own knowledge around it, and then transform, right? Be so confident and assured in your own self that the challenges of life come and go, okay? But you don't live in it and you don't rot in it, right? You just move through, okay? So I hope to see you in my group. Go ahead and watch this. Give me a hashtag live or a hashtag replay. Check out the rest of the comments. See what other people are saying too. You know, are they giving you a one? Type in a one if you've had negative self-talk, you've lived with it, and you type in a two if you understand what are the negative implications for that self-talk, that negative self-talk. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend and evening. I'll see you Tuesday again, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, right here.